It is out. If only that world was only in the mind, safely locked away in back wards. But it is out. Those rabid alcoves pocketing the grey matter are unravelled of their delirium, now toxic in the watercourses, sluicing with abandon to skin and bone, festive acid in days of drought. The compacted body form is stringed on the rack of freedom. The strain at tendon, sinew, synapse is the brittle snap of reality. Manual. Pre-bulged as per instructions, package moulded to flanks, slaked to machine first as lowered rod inculcate. Screen for effluent deposit, override on rocker switch, if pressure raised, stiffen, lock, gauged, is as optimum. Weld to outer skin, then if it requests puncture zone for rictus amplitude, as given thrusts, do it. Swivel on perpetual forceps, mount grid, sails forward, flapping inner arms, sever, these are called flailers. If tumbler overspill, duck, disengage head at blade approach, as exudate green for good, red causes systemics. Bleed valve kisses refer to indexed failsafe procedural interface failure, sign risk forfeiture. You present as disgruntle. See para 7b as per pro forma B20 of the Inst. I wrote to you about it. Thumbs lost in net is common laughter away day bonding over wow, face injuries, did you see that? Cover up nozzle is erect for these notched calibrates a bunched appraisal of risk nullify payoff. Hobble behind unfurled banner, lockdown as siren feasible, dark glasses at gate, swipe card violation. Drag away parts that rust, pen push assessment, foreclose limbless insight, thank you for your story. You have no authorization, buzzer disconnect after finger lop, record loss, we are proud of our shredder. Calculus, damage, spend, lift the rod harness, acid is normal to skin, the breach epidermal. Halt only for total body feed, then only to clean jaws, it oils the cogs anyway, they laughed about it. Facial deformities beg the identity of plaintiffs in court challenge, settle for cheap plastic corrective. Pinched, metal, bone. Tincture, blooded, aperture. Silicate, bath, surface, rupture. A hand floating there. Motet in Brylcream. Pop music, a tenuous and bony grip on me, like a thin ringed finger beckoning to some neon depths ridged in studs and sequins, until the off switch flicked by my father as the chart show began. He was for Mozart and just about admitted to skiffle. Between J. June symphonies and aleatoric teenage pharmacology, the punks punctuated in overdriven riffs, the fuzzbox of abandoned quadratic equations, and Le Saint-Genicki. I could forsake Bruckner to rattle borrowed drums in garages and paradiddle falsetto choruses. An isometric motet in Brylcream I took to the stage at the WAG in twin Leslie full mahogany B3 upholstery, bolstered by Paul Allen curated Bovril sandwiches, smeared beer-ring blues, and took 3 days to crawl off stage and find hallucinated Baroque ghosts in Croydon. My father's face at rehabilitated corduroy, misaligned drain pipes and Pemeline stop-outs, but the Abigail's party living room always available for Korg plug-ins and withered cymbals where frayed edges willed escape from the hammered circle of suburbia. Finally not claimed by Green Bolter Camden Lock, donning a different eccentricity for trilby-hatted tone poems with chlorpromazine-cradled Catholic and steam train affiliations, but glimmers from the late-night streets when signage scatters Valium blue and shot pink silk synth, diamonds, fur coat, champagne. A great mystery surrounding Mr. Stubbins. Broadstairs was mentioned. Someone lived there, but who? Eugene with the club foot, or the lost uncle, whose fiancée suffered from nerves so much so he headed east and left her shredding a handkerchief into her forlorn lap? Or did someone come from there? Roderick, the Heldon tenor who dismantled all electrical goods? Tom the postman? Or Father Brown, the previous incumbent, having been defrocked? We went there. All I could see were giant steps, seaweed-spattered, granite knees descending to where something writhed that needed exorcising with a plastic windmill. You watch too many horror movies, I was told. There was a great mystery surrounding Mr. Stubbins, said to be a lodger but never seen, the upper floor of Nana's house, out of bounds, a dark landing of shadow. I went there. Looked up from the bottom step to the single door. Look at a door long enough and it spills its secrets. A long afternoon of utter silence and dust dying in the sun, and a sharp breath of salt caught the shifting air and the shuffling of something rank. The Tooting Ranter. Beg your pardon. The Tooting Ranter tripped on prophecy by the bones of the all-night chicken, holding forth from the grease cordon marking the one-legged pentagram. He thrives on neon. The emblazon of his thumb that smudges the sky, a gash opened by a star's edge, he can, though gammy, evoke a constellated cat's cradle lowered to perfectly fit the ground plans of wards. Digging yours, as politely as you like, a folded A5 brochure of Armageddon, chip fragrant, and bleary detail of military atrocities vented as far as the bone thickets of Amen Corner. An emblem book of spilt ghee butter, yellow liver enlargement, blessed by the 1,000 gods he rattles now in piano rows of brittle teeth, the shamanism of failed dental procedures. If it pleases, and he will stoke gently the fire of spittle runes, the discard of plastic cups, forever files of the world's ills, a racing form of dire odds, shuffled with newsprint meats. Now he brings the ley lines level with ECT frequency, is sore strapped to his watchtower, where the ordure scraped from the head of the old king pastes a charm on Broadway commuters. Pray, sir, with his exquisite manners, a flourish of fluttering stubs, back rent on Rachmanite dereliction, his acolytes stew on benches, a layer of Persian carpets boils the summer in hot threads. Nailed to the stump and warped hymns from melting cassette tapes, the last rumblings of the engine shed, and fingers long frayed on the hidden pavings of Stane Street. If you would give leave, the harass of olfactory officers ringing their changes of policy, uproot of the bench, cancel subscription for diesel oracles in fuel injection dawn raids. Never rage, even as each finger open to the rain, and screwed up poems of cash machine readouts fed to the mouth. And who kicked him when harmless and telling of great harm in words of stone?